Fox News Alert, troubling new signs about America's economic future with a big warning from giant employer McDonald's. It comes just a day after we saw a dramatic post-election sell-off on Wall Street yesterday. As we investigated, we found signs of worry about big segments of our economy. And now, 24 hours later, McDonald's is reporting the first monthly drop in nearly a decade for the world's biggest hamburger chain. Fox Business Network's Stuart Varney, host of Varney & Company in the Mornings, joins us now. McDonald's, I mean, they're like the cockroach. They weather any storm, you know? I mean, they employ so many people, and people love to eat there, and it's a great combination for America.
Look, it's a great indicator.
They say that they're down 1.8% worldwide. They're down 2.2% in sales in America.
Yes, that's the frightening part here. It is a great indicator of where people are spending their money. Worldwide, as you said, down 1.8%. That's bad. First drop in 9 years. Look more closely at America, and it's down 2.2%, which means America's economy is slowing perhaps more than the rest of the world.
See, I don't get that, because when you don't have a lot of money, that's exactly where you go to eat. I mean, who didn't like, you know, every high school lunch, sadly. I ate there. I mean, it's just a cheap place. So if their sales are down, does it mean people don't have as much money in their pocket? That's where you go when you don't have a lot of money.
Well, median household middle-class income is down $4,300 in the last 4 years. Your spending power is down because you've got $3.50 gasoline. Yes, spending power is down. And presumably, it's places like McDonald's that start to feel the pinch. This is new. We've not seen a McDonald's sales slide before. Now it's happening just as the rest of the economy is slowing. That's why it's such a worrying sign.
What are the things that we need to look for? I mean, I read an article that talked about we've got top 8 economic issues we need to be focused on right now. 1 and 2 were Europe and Obamacare.
Okay. I would broaden that out. Key economic concerns, this fiscal cliff. Get rid of the jargon for a second.
No, I'm sick of hearing about that, because aren't we powerless over that? The lawmakers, they're not going to do what they're going to do. They're not going to take care of it until they decide they've got the political will to take care of it. And we don't know when that will be. They just keep kicking the can down the road until they find it.
I understand your anger, but listen, a fiscal cliff is massive increase in taxes, big drop in spending. It's supposed to take place January the 1st, okay? Fiscal cliff. Now, forget about the jargon. If you listen to the 3 statements of leading politicians in the last 48 hours, that will be Speaker Boehner, Harry Reid, and the leader of the union movement, Richard Trumka. They are suggesting, they are hinting about a deal to get rid of this fiscal cliff. It would be raise taxes now, promise to cut spending in the future, and don't worry about the deficit. You listen closely.
Tell me John Boehner's going to agree to that?
No, he's agreed. Well, he's saying, he's making conciliatory noises that maybe we don't mind if we get some more money coming in from the rich. He doesn't want to raise tax rates. He wants to get rid of some loopholes, but the effect is the same. More money coming into the Treasury. Harry Reid says, tax the rich. Trumka says, don't cut entitlements, no, and don't worry about the deficit. You add that up, and that is a deal on the fiscal cliff, but the stock market doesn't like it, and the economy won't do well from it. That's the bottom line.
All right, so we'll see what they do with the fiscal cliff. The reason I'm so sick of it is because they tried to fix it twice. Twice they failed. Now we're getting close to the deadline. They're like, oh, we'll punt again. Okay, fine. Washington's going to do what it's going to do. What about Obamacare? Because all sort of the bad stuff, if you will, of Obamacare, I mean, the taxes, the penalties that people are going to have to start to pay, they started in Obama 2.0, and that starts in 2014. How big of an impact is that going to have?
Big. The re-election of Barack Obama means that you will get Obamacare. Governor Romney was going to repeal it and replace it. Well, that's not going to happen. No, Obamacare is in place, and it's going to move forward. That means all kinds of taxes start taking effect. There'll be a tax on experimental drug companies. There'll be a tax on granny's hip and the new knee. There'll be all kinds of taxes introduced starting next year, which will hit the economy. Also, the second term means that there's no messing around with financial reform, Dodd-Frank. That means the banks are going to take a huge hit.
I want to talk to you about that. Can we talk about the banks? Because there has been some speculation that the banks haven't been lending and doing the things that banks normally do to help themselves and stimulate the economy because they were anti-Obama. And they wanted to hold their monies and hold that process until they saw whether he could be defeated. And so now that he has a second term, there's a question about whether they'll get back to normal.
No. The banks have not been making as many loans as we would like them to make because demand for loans has not been strong. Business doesn't see great growth in the future, so they're not asking to borrow a lot of money. Secondly, this Dodd-Frank financial reform is going to cost the banks $34 billion a year in compliance. They've been saddled with hundreds of regulators sitting on their back, making sure that every loan is absolutely perfect and contains no risk. You don't lend money in those circumstances. And now President Obama gets a second term. No messing around with Dodd-Frank. It's in place. That's it. It's a negative.
Stuart, thank you.
You're welcome.
It's great to see you.